is me, the brutal presence. Overwhelms me! I am a brutal presence! I will impose my will!
All right. Thank you, Scotty, because we opened up with that. Hey, good evening, and welcome to the Life Radio Show.
Why am I sweating?
We are off to a running start. I'm your host, Don Smith, sitting in the studio with my two fabulous guests that are going to be with me for the next 2 hours, unless we're shut down earlier. Scotty Mays and Mike Shea. So, see, Scotty was blowing kisses to the mic.
No, I was covering my mouth because I censored myself.
Oh, okay. This
is
good.
So much fun.
Good.
I love it when we're on here together.
This is like part 3.
Something
It's
like
happened
that.
quite a bit this year.
Well, nobody else wants
snowed.
to come on anymore. So.
Well, nobody else is awake at 7 a.m. when you post the invite.
That's true. Hey, I got to do something. They don't check that page throughout the week. You never know what you're going to miss.
This is true.
So you'll miss time on the air on the Life Radio Show. So what's been going on? Scotty, we'll start with you. How have you been? A lot of recovery out there. We said
been
earlier.
very well. Been very busy in the recovery community and doing a lot of speaking, going to some classes, and man, just doing what I do.
There you go.
One day at a time.
One day at a time. That's a terrible show, but a good advice.
Yeah. Schneider was the man.
They remade that, didn't they? Didn't they remake that and stuck it on Netflix?
Probably.
Did they?
I saw it on there, and I thought, there's no way in hell I'm going to watch that.
I'm a little behind on everything.
If it was a rerun of the original, there would be no way in hell I would watch it either.
Yeah.
But, terrible, terrible show.
I know they dropped that new Lost in Space show on Netflix, which I haven't watched yet.
It's not bad. Not bad.
Is it not bad?
The new one is not bad. Now they did a movie a while back.
Oh, I remember the movie with Joey from Friends.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that was awful.
It had Gary Oldman, and he still couldn't make it good.
Because it had Joey from Friends.
Joey from Friends.
What is his
Matt
name?
LeBlanc.
Matt LeBlanc.
Yeah, Matt LeBlanc.
Matt White.
Yeah.
Matt White.
Matt the Whitey. But yeah, that the remake movie was absolutely awful.
Yeah.
But I did watch the series, and I hope they do another season because it was really good. It was surprisingly good.
This is getting caught up on everything I haven't watched in the last few months. I haven't been so busy. I haven't watched that. Haven't finished Punisher yet. I've got a long list. Handmaid's Tale.
I've been watching since school's out. I have some free time every now and then. I've been watching some British TV shows, some newer British
brushing up on your
with the one. What's the one guy? Greg Davies, which he's pretty funny. He's got some good. He's got a couple of shows that are pretty funny, strange but pretty funny.
Oh yeah.
The problem is a lot of times they'll do one season that's really good, and then they'll come back for a second season with a bunch of different actors, and they're not nearly as good.
That was
because the first one had, I think Andy Samberg was in the one I watched called Cuckoo.
Yes.
And then the second season and third season were pretty much terrible because he died, and his character, it was now
Spoiler
his
alert.
long-lost son. Nobody's going to watch it.
This is true.
I'm surprised I watched it. But it actually, the first season was pretty good. Kind of annoying in parts, but so is everything.
So that's life.
that
Annoying
is
in
pretty much
parts.
life.
It's annoying in parts, like what's not.
Yeah. And by the way, if anybody from the Wright State HVAC department is listening, which you never know because I used to be part of that team, and some of them may still listen, it is hot as hell.
It is
toasty
pretty
warm in here.
I thought it was just I was on the verge of spontaneous combustion, so I thought that was a warning sign.
You were glistening.
Yeah,
and I wasn't going to
but
say.
Since we're all on the same page, I think it could just be Judgment Day.
I thought it's just because I'm fat.
This may be the onset direction.
I'm a fat guy, so
well, I thought Scotty was a little flush sitting next to you because you guys were, and you both went shirtless tonight, and I really appreciate it. Or not shirtless, sleeveless. Not shirtless, thank God, sleeveless.
This show is dedicated to Dale Blomquist because he loves sleeveless.
Hey, there's still 2 hours left.
Yeah, if it gets any hotter in here, we're going to be butt naked.
We'll be pantless by the end of this show, which has happened before when the AC wasn't on the fritz. Just kidding. It's never happened in here. I've never been that fortunate, Scotty.
Man. Well, there's a first time for everything.
Yeah, but I started a new job recently.
Yeah, how you?
It's been really good. We actually last week when I was in here after my second day of nothing but 8 hours worth of training videos, which is fantastic.
I bet.
But after that, I was actually able to get out in the field and see what it is I'm going to be doing, and so far, totally happy with the decision to switch. Not just the shift, but the job seems. They bought me a new truck, which I can't wait to take that out.
and new people. You
and
mean
new people,
yeah. Right.
Yeah, that hopefully I won't run over with said truck. Because I don't want to damage the truck. They were nice enough to buy it for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bad first impression.
Right. Which, I mean, I can make those without a truck. Anyway, Mike, what's been going on with you? I know there's a premiere this Thursday night, which I'm going to have to make sure my wife knows why I'm not coming home till late Thursday night.
Yeah, well, the two of you, along with some of the funniest people in Dayton, helped me make a new short film this year. Some. And I showed a shortened 5-minute version of it at a film festival in South Carolina at my alma mater. And this Thursday at the Neon, we'll be showing the full 20-minute part, the version of it that doesn't have everybody's dialogue cut out.
So that's the version with the that's the R-rated.
It's the
version,
let's go with R-rated. Nah,
for language.
It's PG-13. There's no F-bombs. There's no nudity.
We'll change that at the theater.
I can change that right now. I can pull my laptop out and change it right now.
Oh, okay.
Can you make my profanity British?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, yeah. Are you wearing an Of Mice and Men T-shirt?
I am.
Or
nice.
Of Ice and Me.
Because you
cut the sleeves off.
Look, man, it's just rolled up a little bit. Just
okay.
unroll it.
That's better. I was saying Of Ice and Me.
That's the cover band, dude. They are top notch.
That's a Vanilla Ice cover band,
Yeah,
right?
Stop it.
Oh, yeah. Word to your mother, actually.
Word to your mother's uncle.
They play Vanilla Ice covers in the style of Mice and Men. So.
Right.
Or Of Mice and Men covers in the style of Vanilla Ice, whichever one's funnier.
Yep.
Yeah, well.
Good stuff.
So what would a Vanilla Ice song be in the style of Mice and Men?
Well, it had to be a rip-off of a Queen song, first of all.
Well, yeah,
so.
absolutely. Yeah.
Very nice.
So it'd be like Fat Bottom Rabbits or something like that.
But you just got to add that one extra beat to it, and it makes it a totally different song.
That's
Everybody,
right.
That's the legal precedent now.
Phew.
All right.
All right. Well, that's the show.
That's
Thanks.
the show. All right, we're done.
All right.
Anyway, Monarch, what was your influence? I'm going to get to the real questions since nobody really gives a crap, but we're going to go ahead and ask it.
Well, a lot of it is I work in news media, and so every day I am having to see and hear stories about how bad just the heroin problem had gotten in Dayton.
Right.
And I hadn't been living here long when I first started hearing about that. That's not something that I was hearing about living down south, and it just kind of hit me in a certain way. And then the same year that a lot of those reports started coming out, I mean, they've been coming out before I moved here, obviously, but I also then had a friend back home in South Carolina die of a heroin overdose, and they actually found the guy who sold to her, and he was from Dayton.
Oh, well, there you go.
And I was like, well, that just kind of...
Because we have the best, worst heroin.
So what I did last year I just did kind of a 5-minute short documentary just kind of exploring how the trafficking gets so bad here in Dayton, the fact that we have 2 major highways that intersect right here in the Miami
crossroads
Valley
of the United States.
Yep,
right there.
75 and 70 go north to south and east to west from one end of the country to the other. So I did that, and it went over pretty well. And a lot of people, I'm a big fan of old noir detective mysteries, Humphrey Bogart and stuff like that, and Blade Runner.
Yeah.
See?
The dame wasn't talking to me, so I decided to that was kind of part of the influence of the documentary as well, as I created this nameless detective character that was just kind of a through line telling all the stories that I uncovered about people who had died of heroin overdoses.
Oh, so they're based on real...
I changed the names, but the rest
that-
of the stories were 100% true. There was a guy who had a workshop, was like a craftsman by trade and would just shoot up and just work all the time, and it just, eventually shot up a little too much and overdosed. There was another lady who was an accountant, who was like some big shot, like forensic accountant who, she was making a lot of money and was blowing it on heroin, and, it's people you wouldn't expect.
Right.
I could have easily done, told stories about people who were, born and grew up in the projects and things like that, but everybody hears those all the time. I wanted to tell stories for people who were, you'd see them walking down the street and never think twice anything about them, but those are the ones who, they think, oh, well, they think they're in a higher place or have some kind of ego or some crap like that, and think, oh, that's not going to happen to me. I'm smarter than that. Well, it's,
Yeah, it doesn't usually work that way.
I always like to say yet.
Yeah.
And that stands for you're eligible too.
Exactly.
So
that was that. And so with this film, Monarch I've taken that same detective character, and whereas with the previous film from last year, which was 95% true, this one's 95% false. It's a completely made up story.
Not false.
But
fictional.
Yeah.
Fictional.
It's a completely made up story.
Because fiction is not lies.
It's true. It's just I'll let you know when I find a better word.
Right.
So it's more 95. It's 95% fictional. I mean, there were influences obviously from other stories I'd heard. Some of the information that gets shared about Dayton in the film is true because those are actual statistics.
Right.
But it's a totally original story. It's a complete cheese ball. It's just cheesy because it's noir and you can get away with that. You can be cheesy with that. But
noir even sounds like a kind of cheese.
It does.
Little camembert noir.
yeah.
But I like a little wine with your noir.
But I have a lot of friends who even now are either still struggling or are in recovery, and whether it's with heroin or alcohol or other things. And addiction is something that I've never had to live with myself, but a lot of people in my life have. And so it's kind of been this thing I've had to deal with kind of on the fringe throughout most of my life. It's affected me kind of indirectly. And so I kind of wanted to take the time to just focus on this issue as much as I could, and without making things seem hopeless or like, oh, I didn't want to be like, oh, it's totally hopeless, but at the same time I didn't want to be, oh, it's going to be fine. We'll figure it out because it's not something.
It's an okay kind of hopeless. It's a fine kind of hopeless, but we're hopelessly all right.
It's not hopeless. There's always hope but there's not a light switch you can flip.
Right.
It's not going to be an overnight solution to this kind of problem. It's like most things in life. It's not something you can just, if we just do this one thing, this will fix it forever. That's never going to be the case. And it takes a lot of people like Scotty here or my friend Alicia who have gone through things like that, who now have come out the other side of it and have taken their experiences and are helping others who are going through it right now, who counsel other people and speak with other people about what they've gone through and share their stories. Even someone, again, like Scotty, who shares some of his stories comedically on stage and is able to show that not only can you come out on the other side of it, you can come out on the other side of it and turn it on its head.
Right.
And take some of that power and influence it has away from you. So that was the inspiration behind wanting to make these two films. And my goal with it is just to hope that people can see it. And everybody knows heroin's bad. We all know it. But enough that people will sit there and go like, no, this is something we should really actually be active in doing something about.
Right.
You can just sit there and be like, man, that sure is bad. I wish somebody would do something about that. But it takes a bigger person to say, no, I'm actually going to stand up and do something about it. So that's where that came from.
Here's the spin with that is now heroin's slowly starting to take a back seat.
Yeah.
Now here comes crystal meth.
Oh,
Yeah.
crystal meth is making a
by the
comeback,
end of the
'cause
summer, I'm projecting that it's gonna look like a zombie apocalypse out there. It's gonna be insane.
And then there's the fentanyl thing.
Well, yeah, because there's no heroin in Dayton anymore. It's all fentanyl.
Really?
Yeah, you're gonna be lucky to find pure heroin.
Yeah. It's all getting cut with fentanyl, which is really what's been killing people.
Right, because it's
the most.
And dude, what's up with this mic? Did somebody have this mic under their armpit? Because it smells like a dirty armpit. Commercial break. We're gonna have to
to be honest, Scotty, I got here early.
Just
I was
rubbing
a
up
little
on the
bored.
mic.
Just bored.
I was like, let's see who gets this one. and see if they notice.
I mean, my eyes are watering, dude. And I normally don't suffer from allergies, but
Well, I was playing a show with my whole band one time, and the band before us had taken the microphone and unscrewed the mic head and put tuna fish in there and screwed it back on. So on one hand, it's like, why can't I hear myself through this mic? I smell fish.
Is my mom here?
Yeah.
Weird.
We'll have to see if there are any disinfectant wipes or something.
I'll
At
deal.
least
the
get
mic.
a different smell on
Dude,
it.
trust me, back in the day, I'd smelled way worse than,
well, yeah,
than
but
this
you shouldn't have to.
microphone.
You shouldn't have to have
This
it
is like
right
a
in your-
Febreze
yeah.
moment.
We'll hang an air
compared to that.
freshener from it.
You shouldn't have to. Yeah, you shouldn't have to have it right in your nostril like that. You know?
Yeah, well.
I like to think I treat my guests better.
Honestly,
than
my
that.
nose is so big, I'm sitting back farther than what it looks like. It's just, yeah.
Okay,
It's,
I'll talk louder then. 'Cause I don't. That's why I couldn't read your shirt well. So.
That's right. Yeah, my nose. Who knows?
Tuna nose. That's, yeah.
Could be worse. You could be just sitting there going, "Oh yeah."
Well, it could be. Now I had everybody just snorted on the air.
Smells like crap.
Yep, it's that kind of radio show.
Oh yeah.
Triggered.
Now it could be out in the lobby. I was having a Greek salad with some really strong onions. Now I pull those off because I can't stand eating them, but it could be, there could be some of it wafted in here and just soaked into just your microphone.
What makes it a Greek salad?
The little Greek guy across the street. He makes it for me. Says, "Here you go," and that's
Shut up,
that's.
dude.
Well, I don't know if he was a Greek. He might not have been. Actually, it was at Arby's, so it probably was like the furthest from Greek you can get.
Did you get a gyro?
The Euro Greek salad or Greek Euro salad or whatever it is. Yeah.
Arby's is like, they're the posers of the fast food
They
industry.
really are.
Pretty much, yeah.
I tried that barbecue brisket sandwich they've been pushing.
Yeah.
It was the driest sandwich I've ever eaten
Right,
in my
yeah.
life. It was
Yeah.
terrible.
Well, see, I started a ketogenic diet recently, and that's
Oh,
the
really?
meat, no carbs,
Is that how that
lots
works?
of animal fat. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
yeah. Because any diet that encourages mass consumptions of bacon is on the top list of diets for me to try because I'm already halfway there. I love bacon.
You had me at bacon.
Exactly. It's fantastic.
We should get pantless and eat bacon. I mean, I don't know why we have to take our pants off for that. That's just a little extra element I added to it.
You just guessed the whole second hour of this show. How did you know that that's what we were going to do for the second hour?
It's a six.
A six. It's a six.
It's a 6 cents. It's a 6 cents.
Yeah. But no, it's so I had to rush here from work. I didn't really rush, but I didn't want to go all the way home and waste all that time and come all the way back here. So I had to stop and get something to eat because I was starving because I started a diet.
Yeah.
So
Hangry.
So I had to have the Greek Euro salad with some regular roast beef meat on there. So and just throw all the bread stuff away.
Is that what made it the Euro? Doesn't the bread make it the Euro or the sauce? What makes it the Euro?
I think it's the
what
sauce.
makes it the sauce is what makes it the
The
sauce
shaved
is the
leg of lamb?
the shaved leg of lamb or whatever.
I mean,
it
is that
It's
really a leg of lamb?
probably not over there? not at Arby's. It might be a leg of Spam. I don't know.
A leg of
Because it's at
Spam.
Arby's.
Shaved leg of Spam.
Yeah, it's a shaved leg of Spam.
I like that.
Yes.
I like that.
It's not shawarma, but it is shawarmish.
Yeah, shawarmish. And the tzatziki sauce.
Tzatziki
that
sauce,
stuff is
yeah.
fantastic.
Tatiki.
You never had the tzatziki
Cucumber sauce?
A cucumber sauce?
Yeah.
That stuff.
That's basically
I
what
didn't
it
know there
is.
was another name for it. I had no idea.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
What's the appropriate name for it? Where's my Greek?
Tzatziki.
Ziki
Where's
or
my Greek
tzatziki
friends at
or-
on here?
Tzatziki.
Zeke.
something
Yeah,
like
okay,
that.
sure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Aziki?
There's a Z involved.
Ziki.
Aziki.
Piki.
Aziki manual sauce? Ezekiel manual sauce?
We'll they're bound to guess it eventually. That's
Yeah.
One of those was right.
one of those was spot on. The rest of them, it doesn't really matter because we got one right, and
Right.
that was really my goal for the evening. If we get one thing right,
But if we do two rights, that still doesn't make it wrong.
yeah. But if we do three rights, that actually makes a left.
Yeah,
you
but
beat
then you're
me
just
to it.
doing a circle. You do another right after that, we're just doing circles. So we
Yeah.
can talk in circles the whole night.
We usually do. We got an hour and a half left.
We should probably do that last hour in third person. I think Scotty would really like to do that.
Wait till the last hour.
Okay. All right. I had to practice.
Well, yeah, you got to make sure you can remember how to
can I do
it.
that? Is that my name? What's my name?
You're talking in third person is kind of tough. I don't like doing it. Neither does Don. I think on that note, I'm just going to end the broadcast. No, I think I'm going to find us some music. What kind of music sounds
Something
good?
that I can do some dips to while we're on break and really get my shoulders jacked for this radio
Pottersfield
show.
it is.
There we go.
Nothing brings people together quite like the movies, and every week Aaron Lopez wants you to join him in a discussion about the latest and greatest in the world of film. So grab a drink, grab some popcorn, and get comfy. Come join Aaron and friends every Thursday at The Drive-In, presented by Eventide Entertainment.
They say, see a broad to get that booty act 'em, leg her down and smack 'em, yak 'em. Cole got to be. Yo, shit.
That's right. We're back on the live radio show talking a little jive.
Jive turkey.
Why not?
I can help with this. I speak jive.
We talked about so many good things off the air we can't talk about on the air.
I know.
But it all
So
went over
sad.
Facebook. But it all went over
Yeah.
Facebook Live.
Yeah.
That's
That's true.
good.
So all 5 of you that are still hanging out on
Yeah.
Facebook Live.
You want the
Tell your
inside
friends.
scoop?
All right.
Well, that's the thing with Facebook Live. They can watch it later.
This is
They
true.
Go back
If
and
you
see what-
post
Yeah.
it. You don't have to post it.
Oh, I always
That's-
post.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, what's the
Hey,
point?
yeah,
what's the
transparency,
point of going
man.
live?
You have
If
to.
you- yeah. That would be just silly.
Would be.
Yeah.
Ludicrous.
It's not like you're charging them money for a live performance.
Right.
Right.
We're comics.
Yeah. Look, I mentioned that and like 4. Oh, now we're up to 6. It's a weird fluctuation going on with that. It's almost like people are in denial. Like, no, I'm not going to watch it. Well, maybe I'll watch.
They're
No,
a
I'm
little
not going to.
scared, but they're
No,
timid.
but-
They're
right,
timid.
right.
They're just like dipping a toe in to Scotty Mays live feed and then going back out, dipping another toe in.
Right.
You know, maybe a penis.
But don't. Yeah.
Just a
Maybe.
just
Maybe
a
two.
tip at first.
And here's the thing. Like, I hate feet.
But well,
Just dropping that one in there.
how do you feel about toes, though?
Well, yeah, the toes, no.
Okay, but
No
the,
toes.
well, the true question is, how do you feel about Christian Bale as Batman?
I think he's an amazing Batman.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you over your asthma.
This is Dayton.
Yep,
We
hold
are
on.
top 3 in pollen. Give me a break.
Yeah, just clear your throat and then answer the question.
Somebody just asked me if this was a Nickelback shirt.
No, it's
How
Ice
dare
and
you,
Me.
sir? How dare you?
Yes. That's Scotty's
Remember that
of Ice
photograph?
and Me shirt.
Oh, ice.
What's that?
Nothing. It was a horrible Nickelback reference.
Oh, okay. Well,
Look at this
I don't
photograph.
think there is anything. There is not any other kind of Nickelback reference. I don't think.
Yeah, they're all horrible.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
He even tried cutting his
Yeah.
hair, and he's still.
Yeah, you hear
Canadian.
Nickelback, it's like,
Yeah.
yep, that's awful. Whether it's just a reference to it or the actual
Mm-hmm.
assault on your eardrums.
And now he's married to Avril Lavigne, so they can just go.
Who?
Yeah, exactly. Nobody cares anymore.
Yeah, well, I take those for headaches actually. The Advil.
A couple of Avrils.
Yeah, pop a couple of Avrils.
Oof, I don't know.
You don't feel much
That seems
better.
like something you take to get a headache. But
Yeah.
Weird. I
Yeah,
thought she was into
Ad-
Skater Boys. So weird.
Advil Aleve, I think, is the yeah. That's,
So how do you think she picked him up? She's like, "Hey, you. I don't like your girlfriend."
I don't get any of these
Yeah, I'm
references.
sorry, man.
I
I'm
hate
sorry.
that I do.
Yeah.
But 10 years in radio will do that to you, I guess.
I've got 3.5, and I don't play crap. So I play
Well, that's
I
getting
play
honest when you're
Pottersfield.
mentioning 3.5.
Yeah, 3 and
I wear size 14.
we can't all be Scotty Mays
Wow.
in our frickin' rooster hair.
Some of us have to shop at specialty stores,
Yeah.
Scotty.
Yeah. I had to special order my boots from Red Wing.
My clothing store
Oh, you got
charges
the
by the
width,
yard.
though.
It's
I
not
got
my
the
fault.
width. I'm like a duck. It's like 5 inches long, but 6 inches wide. That's
Oh, I'm gonna let that one go. I'm gonna let that one go.
it's like the kid.
It's like forceps opening up.
Yep, you kind of got to get a start first,
Yeah, right.
or you're never gonna make it.
Whew.
Wow. All right, let's hit some news stories.
Let's do it.
Because we got to go somewhere else quick. We'll probably get right back there knowing the news stories I come up with. So.
Right turn, Clyde.
Well, here's some news to since we don't have anything interesting to talk about.
Remember Gary Gnu?
I do remember
the
Gary
Gnu's.
And on the Gnu's. I can't remember the show that was
no
on.
No Gnu's is good Gnu's.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. So let's do... Man, that's a good reference.
We are old, sir.
We are. Nobody... There's probably 40-year-olds on your Facebook page that don't get that reference.
And they're like, what the hell's a GNU?
Yeah. What the
Pretty
hell?
sure it's pronounced new.
No, it's not.
I don't
it's
think
GNU.
It's GNU.
It's Gary GNU. And here's your GNU.
I said good day.
U.S. Border Patrol agents in Brownsville, Texas, got a real on-the-job surprise last Monday. Agents working near the Rio Grande witnessed 3 individuals trying to enter the country, including one who was carrying a small black duffel bag. The smugglers changed their minds about coming to America. After they saw the agents, they dropped the bag and hoofed it back to Mexico. Apparently, they had a donkey.
I think so. They hoofed it.
Yes. When the officers examined the duffel bag, they were shocked to discover an unconscious male tiger stuffed inside. The tiger, estimated to be around 4 months old, was returned over to Gladys Porter Zoo in Brownsville. So now they're smuggling tigers.
There's a town called Brownsville?
Yeah, that's
what I'm taking away from that.
You don't know there's a town called Brownsville, Texas.
In Texas, I wouldn't have picked Texas to have Brownsville.
Yeah, that's why not?
Although when you think,
been there,
when you think about it is Texas, they would have a specific town for it. I guess.
We're gonna take you to Brownsville.
Yeah,
we're gonna take this all the way to Brownsville.
Told me that.
You and your wide foot.
And my wide foot's going to take you to Brownsville.
We made it back. We went all the way back.
To Brownsville and back. That's what.
We didn't even have to hoof it.
Yep.
Where'd you get a tiger in Mexico?
I don't know.
You've never seen a Mexican tiger?
No.
Dude, they're rare.
They're very rare. Yeah. Apparently small enough to fit in a duffel bag, unconscious.
It wasn't Tony the Tiger, it was Tony Manuel.
That one was bad.
Oh, damn. Oh, shame on you, sir.
Yeah, what can they get me for copyright infringement?
I don't know if you do it that way. You may be good. That was actually.
Oh, that's
what's the off brand of that? They're good enough. They're meh.
Yep. Just eat them.
A little flaky.
It's all you can afford. What do you care? A little flaky. We weren't talking about California. We were talking about Texas.
Yes.
A little flaky.
And they're Brownsville.
I'm sure there's a lot of Brownsvilles in California, too.
I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is. That almost sounds racist, but that's not even where we were going.
Well, especially with a K.
Brownsville just sounds like the made-up ass town in a crappy Stephen King book. It's
literally a crappy.
Literally, and it's an ass town, so it's Brownsville.
Yeah. There's a sinkhole.
The lights
right?
came on. The FCC's here.
Yep.
We're
we
done.
are shut down. It's Brownsville. It's a town. It's a town in Texas. I think there's even a beach. I don't know. There's probably sand. I've
New
not
York
been there.
City. What? Oh, wait.
Nothing like getting sand in your Brownsville. We're going straight to a story from New York. Some lucky New Yorkers had a celebrity encounter last weekend that can only be described as cheesy. A rodent was seen on New York subway claiming a piece of pizza as his own, though it remains to be seen whether it's the famed pizza rat, because apparently there is a famous New York pizza rat filmed gorging on a slice 3 years ago. 3 years ago, a rat ate a piece of pizza, and now they're crapping themselves about it.
And I thought Dayton had ridiculous news stories.
Right.
But
I mean, we had zombie raccoons. Or no, that was Youngstown.
Youngstown, yeah.
Yep. There's a movie I saw called Zombievers, but we won't.
Oh, yes.
The latest pizza rat surfaced on the downtown 6 train tracks at the Lexington Avenue 59th Street station, in case you want to see if he's still there. Michael Carant filmed the encounter for posterity. I was totally shocked, Carant said. Everyone on the platform was in awe and pulled out their phone like they were seeing a UFO. No one seemed super grossed out. Many people acted like it was no big deal, but he just said that everyone was in awe, but many people acted like it was no big deal. Apparently that's a...
And they all got...
You can be in awe, and it's no big deal. So it's like,
I mean, it's a rat on a New York subway. I'm sure that's not the first time they've seen one of those.
Right. They were like,
but it was eating a pizza.
It was eating a pizza.
Yeah.
It's probably the nicest thing a New York rat's ever done on that subway.
Well,
usually
if
they rob
it
you.
would have been a Chicago-style deep dish, they'd have stomped his brains.
This is true. That's
like,
sad.
get out of here with that.
This is true. And instead, he gave them all fleas, and that's how the bubonic plague
Right.
was
So
reborn.
that's, through pizza.
Through pizza fleas.
Yeah.
Maybe he works at a pizza place, and that was his take-home for the day. He's paid in slices of pizza.
Yeah. I think Splinter's fallen on hard times, and he's stealing from the turtles. He's got their leftover pizza.
He's officially getting high on his own supply.
Where's that rat hanging out with those turtles? He's high. He thinks they're ninjas.
Yep, look at them. They're just kind of flopping around. They don't really do anything. The one's got a piece of pizza. He's... Oh.
I mean, he's a turtle and a half shell. Don't
Turtle
they all? They all had half shells, though, correct?
Who did?
What's a whole shell look like?
Well, I don't know.
Right.
Well, no, that would be 2 half shells because you'd have to open it up. So it'd be a double half shell, but if you couldn't open it, it'd be a whole shell, and then it would just be something dead inside. That would be a mutation, is what that would be. That would be a rock, Scotty. It's actually.
Well, they were
You
mutant
wanna see a
Ninja
whole
Turtles.
shell, pick up a rock.
I'm gonna take a picture of a rock tomorrow and send it to you. Be like, they do exist.
I knew
The
it.
whole shell.
We're an educational program.
We are.
Scotty.
We are all learning something today.
That's a rock.
I have 5 people that feel a lot better about their life.
Yeah, just imagine if there's anybody listening in. They feel
If there is
great.
anybody listening, somebody should be listening to this, actually. I need to remind you, soft pretzels and chocolate sauce. That's probably what you should title this show.
No, the title of this show I just thought of. It's a rock. I was writing it down as you said that.
It's a rock.
It's a rock.
Triggered.
No, not a rock.
Oh.
A rock.
Oh, a rock.
Like the double
Not
half,
like a rock.
the whole shell.
Oh. Not like Chris Rock.
No, not
and
like
New
Chris
Jack
Rock.
City Rock.
Right, or crack
But-
rock. But,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was subtly hinting around to. I was making all those
That's
references and.
Gotcha.
Next story, sir.
The show. This is
Yeah.
great.
Moving on. There will
It's
be
still
no more
hot in here.
discussion of
Look
drugs
at your
on this
forehead,
show.
dude. It is so sweaty.
Oh, I thought it was just big. I thought I was going bald as we spoke. I kept on getting kicked off the air, and all my
Use it as
hairline
as
just
film
receded
screen,
all at
project
once.
onto it. It would reflect perfectly.
Yep. All right, no more drug talk.
Or
Cannabis is having a skincare moment.
Did you set that up?
No way.
weed's not a drug, man.
Beauty and wellness products containing cannabidiol, it's CBD.
Well, so why do you assume I just know these terms, sir? I'm offended.
I didn't say anything. I was
Where
just
is
having
the
trouble
safe space
pronouncing
at
it.
Wright State?
Anyway, and possibly THC. And possibly THC are becoming increasingly popular. No crap.
Really?
What? CBD along with THC, which is all kinds of
There's
letters.
so many
that,
different strands of it, man. It's not all addictive. It just depends on what you get.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
go
went to
ahead.
college with so many guys like that.
Right.
CBD and THC are the 2 most common cannabinoids found in cannabis, a.k.a. marijuana, because the article assumed if you were reading about cannabis, you wouldn't know what marijuana was. But they have different effects. CBD is touted as having therapeutic and stress-relieving benefits, while THC is responsible for the, quote, high associated with marijuana use. Additionally, CBD is legal in many states, while THC is not. That's a crime. It should be the other way around, because trust me, when you're high, you're relaxed.
The CBD oil, though, the oils are actually medicinally benefiting numerous things. So, like, it's such a gray area with that, because I don't know. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
We won't talk about it anymore. But you can find cannabis products for a relaxing bath
on 3rd Street.
Yes, exactly, because nothing is more relaxing than bathing high. For soothing sore muscles or for healing chapped lips. They've even found a fan in Olivia Wilde who raved about a topical CBD lotion by Lord Jones in the 2017 New York Times profile. And celebrity stylist Carla Welch says she tells her clients like Wilde, Katy Perry, and Sarah Paulson, whoever that is, to use it on their feet for red carpet events. Get your feet high. You'll just float across the carpet.
Float across the red carpet.
Yes, did you want to float in, make an entrance?
You need to glide in this gown.
This guy's name, Dr. Samer Jaber.
Of course it is.
Jaber.
Samer Jaber of Washington Square Dermatology told Huffington Post that while the enthusiasm for cannabinoids and skincare is definitely growing, the science behind cannabis and cannabinoids for skin health is sparse. We got to test a little more.
Saber Jaber sounds like he sounds like the pastor I met at a church last Monday.
I'm Dr. Saber Jamer. Man.
His cousin's
like
a Swedish
Saber,
chef.
Maybe it was Saber Jammer.
Saber.
That's like a porn star name if I ever heard one.
Maybe it's Mama Jamma.
Yeah,
maybe he's
Mama
a bad
Jamma.
It's a bad Mama Jamma.
Yep, Dr. Mama Jamma's here with the weed. Man, this is a good show. This is a good show, isn't it, guys?
Oh, man. Fantastic.
Talk about.
I'm down to 3 viewers now. We are winning.
Man, that's 3 more than I have listeners. Man, okay. This is we're going to go with a sports story.
Ooh, I like sports.
Yes, you like sports.
All right.
Do you like hockey?
I love hockey.
All right.
Sports ball.
This is an NHL story.
Yes.
Apparently, the Tampa Bay Lightning defeated the Boston Bruins to head to the NHL's Eastern Conference Finals, and nobody licked anybody.
That was God.
that was not a guarantee. Bruins left wing Brad Marchand, or Marchand, I guess it depends on where you're from.
Marchand.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, aren't we fancy? Brad Marchand licked opposing players twice this postseason. Yeah, because why not?
Sure. I can't stand him.
Marchand is famously antagonistic and annoying, earning the official title of the biggest pest in the NHL, a label his team has embraced. But his new strategy earned some ire off the ice, and the National Hockey League stepped in to order Marchand to knock it off.
He's probably
no more licking.
No licky.
Well, it's ice hockey. You might lick the wrong thing and your tongue will get stuck to it. And nobody wants to separate hockey players while their tongues are stuck to each other. That's another rumor I've heard.
Just got to play the rest of the game like that.
Yeah.
You two are going to learn to get along.
What's your name? Sama Jamma.
Yeah, Dr. Mama Jamma. I need a drink. All I got's water.
Let's give some tickets away.
Yes.
Let's do that. What are the tickets? Who you got there? What do you got there?
These tickets will be for Friday, May 25th at 8 p.m. at Wiley's Comedy Joint. It's the Cry for Help tour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Del Blomquist and the Cry for Help
Absolutely.
tour. That's always a good show.
You have featuring Travis Charles, Ransom Carr, Dan Dean. What?
Dan Dean?
DD.
All
Double
right.
D. Del Blomquist. Bloomquist. Bloomquist.
Marchand.
Yeah. Nick Taylor. Oh, and then this one guy, Scotty Mays. He's all right.
Yes,
He's all right.
I think I've heard of him.
Yeah.
Nick Taylor. Yeah.
But you know, if
I heard he's got
anybody-
weird hair.
If anybody listening calls 937-775-5555, I'll hook you up with a pair of tickets.
Yes, and we'll put you straight on the air.
Straight
So if
on
you
the
call
air.
up cussing a bunch, we won't. But yeah, I just encourage that.
Anybody but Wakanda.
Well, no, I'd love to hear from.
I'm
the
not
king,
giving her
'cause
tickets.
Huh?
I'm not going to give her any tickets.
No, the king of Wakanda.
Oh,
Who
Wakanda.
yeah.
Wakanda forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not giving him
Lawanda.
tickets. Not.
Or LaFonda.
It's so hot in here that I'm starting to get dehydrated. I might be on the verge of heat
Do
stroke.
you need a water?
I actually have one. I just haven't.
Okay.
But I'll take that one.
Well, no.
Yeah, I like to hoard
Empty
things.
when you can hoard the empty bottles
got
over
it.
there if you want. We'll throw them out after you leave. in
So if
about
nobody
5
calls,
minutes.
then don't. If nobody calls in for these tickets, don't say I need to get to one of your shows. Here's your opportunity.
Right, and if nobody calls in for these tickets, Scotty's going to have to go see himself perform.
Oh, that's a nightmare.
Yes, it's yeah. If there'll be just chairs with
That's
mirrors
how,
in them, that would
dude,
be.
don't give away the secret.
Well, actually, if you've ever watched TBTV with Brandon Barry and Tyler Wise, there's one episode where I'm on stage telling some awful jokes, and the whole audience is empty except for me sitting in the audience watching myself and laughing hysterically. It's so much fun.
They just recorded one of his dreams. That's
Yes,
all they did.
That's pretty much it. That is a recurring dream. Yeah. That I perform for no one except myself. Isn't that why we're all doing it?
Validation.
Pretty
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
Because we want to, we think
Not
we're
for
way
the chicks.
funnier than the audience. Yeah, it's definitely
not
not
for the chicks.
because you wouldn't be doing comedy. Aren't a lot of comedy groupies out there that I've found.
Chuckle sluts,
Okay,
few and
Scotty,
far
maybe
between.
there are. I haven't found any. Is what
No.
I'm saying.
There's just comedy clickies.
Yeah, clickies, comedy clickies, just so comedy clicky. We'll do one more news story.
Let's
and
do it. Hope
we'll
this
have
one's
to
out of
take a
Florida. You
break.
know, you haven't done a Florida story in a while.
I have not, but
Yeah,
hey,
what's Florida man been up
but
to?
hey, Paris.
There's a
least-
Disney World over there.
Yeah, Paris.
There's a Disney.
Visitors at a leading contemporary art museum in Paris didn't leave only their cloaks in the cloakroom. They left all their clothes.
And their
The Palais de Tokyo,
Sure.
which is in not Tokyo,
Bless
it's
you.
the Palais de Tokyo Museum, opened its doors to nudists for a very special visit Saturday. It's part of a growing effort by France's tiny nudist community, which I bet they were angry when they heard that. What they wrote? What? It's part of a growing effort by France's tiny nudist community to encourage acceptance of clothes-free activities after a nudist restaurant and nudist park opened in the French capital. The museum visit was arranged before regular opening hours so the nudists wouldn't mingle with other visitors because, they want their money, but they're still ashamed of them. They viewed an exhibit of contemporary works focused on, quote, discord. Organizers said they're hoping to attract younger members. No kidding.
Oh,
Why wouldn't
wow.
you? They're hoping to attract younger members and get rid of the younger members and get rid of the complexes around their nudist practices, which they don't want, quote, limited to beaches, summertime, or a certain category of the population, like nudists, I guess.
How do you say these younger members are touching my leg in French?
Wee wee.
Well, what?
Touched by wee wee.
What if tiny nudist community is actually? What if they're all like nudist little people, and that's just the name of it?
That could be.
What if
They
they're
just-
Smurfs?
yeah, they were pretty much nudists.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just those little. They wore their underwear.
I mean,
That's about
Smurfette
it.
was topless. Her hair covered
Each
her
Smurf
chest,
has
right?
2 pairs of underwear, one for their crotch, one for their head.
Right.
Because that's
Yeah.
basically all they.
Smurfs are
when
really
the-
into
when-
nipples,
Yeah,
so
when
they
the
just didn't
one
wear
on
shirts.
top, when
Right.
their hat wore a hole in it, they just switched it to underwear.
It's like the Snorks.
They didn't wear anything on their head.
They
They
just
had.
kept snorking.
That's where they kept their
They're
snorkers. That's where they kept their snickle.
So that's where Avatar
They
got
were
it from.
snorks. No, I didn't say they're
So-
schnipples.
You think Inch High Private Eye hung out with this?
What the nudists do in the wintertime?
Shrink. That's when they become a tiny nudist community. They shrink and they move quickly, I would say, from one house to the next.
They're like, look at his outie belly button. That is adorable.
Yeah, that's disgusting. He should at least
It's
wear a
like-
belt over
Yeah,
there.
at least the Cabbage Patch Kids had shirts.
Oh,
Oh, damn.
Oh, I so needed this.
Tell me about it.
I don't care if y'all hate this, but I'm
Yeah,
loving it. I'm
it's-
talking to the 3 people that are watching.
oh well,
yeah.
if they're still watching, they probably don't hate it.
No.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they probably do.
They're gluttons for
This
This
punishment.
sounds
full of
probably
myself.
not even on. They're just, now we're down to 1.
Oh, you going to call us out, Scotty? Screw you. We're out of here.
Just remember, it's 937-775-5555.
Nobody wants any tickets. You can't even give them away, dude. That is so sad.
Man, that's I love my life. Should we take a break then, since nobody else gives a crap?
Yeah.
All right,
Sure, why not?
we'll take a break. We'll recoup. We'll try to cool off a little bit.
The
I'm gonna
next hour
probably
will be
run
full of
laps or
puns.
something.
Just all
Full
puns.
of punks.
And puns.
Puns.
Punks and
All right,
puns.
The next is Pun Hour on the Life radio show.
All right.
Sweet.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're going to take a little break.
Stroke that
and,
button, Don.
I'm going to stroke this button. We are going to. We'll be back shortly. Enjoy a long bunch of commercials.
Wednesdays on Eventide, Robert Yetter and Mike Shea sit down and throw albums at each other, talking about them, picking them apart, ripping them a new one. All different artists, all different genres, all different levels of suckage. It's Track Record, Wednesdays at 9 a.m. on the Eventide podcast feed. For more information, go to eventideent.com. Hey guys, Mike Shea here. In 2017, my father passed away after a year-long battle with FLT3 leukemia, a rare and aggressive form of blood cancer. But he wasn't alone. Every 3 minutes, someone in the U.S. is diagnosed with a form of blood cancer. And despite all the medical progress of the modern age, more than a third of blood cancer patients still don't survive 5 years after their diagnosis. You can help end the suffering by donating to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. They are the leading edge of cures for all forms of blood cancer. They provide free, highly specialized information, education, and support. In 2015, they provided over $41.8 million to patients in the U.S. To donate, simply go to facebook.com/Mike Shea Comedy and click the Learn More button. Every little bit helps. For more information, go to www.lls.org.
Now, you've been staring over that edge for hours. And people die down there. And dying when you're not really sick is really sick, you know? Really.
All right. We are back on the Life radio show. I'm your host, Don Smith, here on WWSU, the station with the very bad short-term memory that forgets that they fire me every week. And they keep letting me come back. The
amazing.
decision gets made, and then nobody remembers it.
You're like Milton from Office Space.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
you fire him? Yeah,
Good.
but there's some glitch. He still gets a paycheck.
I just at the building. You probably shouldn't say things like that on the air
that's my
anymore, because that
stapler.
would be,
Yeah.
that would be a bad thing if I
That
said
would be.
something like
Yeah,
that
it's
over
true.
because you can't make jokes about anything anymore.
No,
you really
And
can't.
for a comic,
really
that's
cannot.
hard to do.
No.
That's where I have a problem in my professional life. Is sometimes I don't have a filter,
Oh, yeah.
and that's
No, I know. We just fired a guy recently for some stuff he had posted on social media. He was engaging with, because where I work, we get a lot of
I'm
people.
fine on social media because I
Yeah.
think about what I write and what I put on there.
Yeah.
It's the interpersonal communication.
He wasn't great in that
Where,
area
you know,
either.
where somebody says something and every now and then I have to answer,
Yeah.
and it can be tricky.
I've
It's
learned
a
to be
little,
real selective, especially with everything that I do now. Like my comedy, that's something different. Like,
Right.
I'll throw that up there. But if I'm going to post something on Facebook, I have to check my motives. Like, it's
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
How detrimental is this going to be to perception?
Right.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, everything's on social media now.
Yeah.
Everything. By the way, Scotty Mays and Mike Shea are still in the studio with me since I didn't
are we?
announce that.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, so just
until he finds the keys to these handcuffs, we're going to be stuck here for a
they'll be
while.
piping in from time to time.
Send food.
Please for help and stuff like
Send
that.
a lot of food. Send a Greek salad.
Send me a
Yes,
Greek
a Greek
salad
salad
with them
from
tzatziki
Arby's
sauce.
with tzatziki sauce.
Tzatziki
Yeah.
sauce.
Just
Maybe
as
even
long
a
as it's
rat
something
eating a slice
white.
of pizza. That would be.
Yeah, or a rat.
Amore.
Send a rat. Send
some-
Splinter in.
Or some
send in
some
Master
foot cream
Splinter
with
some
weed in it.
Yes, yes, or a nudist, a tiny nudist.
A tiny nudist.
Send me a tiny nudist. Or call in for tickets to
got
Cry for
lots.
Help
You know
show
what?
at
Don't
Wiley's.
even call in for tickets.
Yeah.
You had your chance. You're not going to do it
I tell
now.
you what, call in so we can tell you
Yeah.
you can't have them.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to call in.
At 937-775-5555. If you want to find out why you don't get tickets, call that number.
And we'll give you a reasonable explanation.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But
on the air so
you're not gonna
everybody
do
can
it
hear,
anyway.
and then the FCC will fine us
That's right.
if I don't hit the button in time.
Dump.
Huh?
Dump.
Thump, dump,
Dump.
button.
I thought you said thump. I
No.
thought you were just making sound
Is it still called a
effects
dump
for-
button?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
I didn't know if that was still the technical term for it.
Yes, I believe it is.
Well, he has 2 turntables and a microphone over there.
That's where it's at. No, that's where they're at, right
Yeah,
there.
yeah. They're literally right there.
A microphone. About 4 microphones. I got 2 turntables and 4 microphones.
Like Dr. Fever
And
over
a
here.
CD
Oh,
player,
my phone
a
just.
computer. And did you just make everybody on Facebook fall over with you?
We did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a shame. I
Hey,
hope
at least it
nobody
wasn't
got
the
hurt.
wagon.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Well, there's that's punny. But
We weren't kidding.
we weren't kidding. This is the hour de pun. L'heure de pun. Yes.
I don't know. Our
We're
de
going-
Poon sounds like something a little different.
Yeah, hors de poon.
Boom.
It's like an hors
It's,
d'oeuvre.
our
Or a-
Poon
senior
sounds awesome.
Yeah, hors de poon.
It's the mature version.
Yes. We can't hit news stories yet. We have to find something else to talk about.
We're only 3 minutes
what
into
kind-
this,
yeah, exactly.
hour.
Well, on my
exactly.
way
We
here,
can't-
there was a
we
guy
have
driving around Dorothy Lane with some kind of loud music blasting out of his car, and he was holding out 2 flags out of his window, an American flag and an Israeli flag, and is dancing in his car and waving his flags around while he's driving around the Dorothy Lane area over there by Austin
You know the
Landing.
significance of that,
I
right?
had no idea.
So today, the U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem opened.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So
When I'm not at work, I don't watch the news.
yeah, that's a pretty big deal.
Okay, well,
things
that's
happen.
cool.
I mean,
in
the
the world,
Palestinians are ecstatic.
No, that's
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
like
sure
they are
yeah.
stabby about it.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
Like
sure,
they are literally stabbing people.
that's cool, and I'm glad I have some context.
I'm sure
'cause
there are a lot of folks in the Middle East that are just celebrating right
Yeah,
now.
they're going out with a bang.
Yeah.
out of context, that just looked kind of weird. I'm looking her over and over by the Waffle House is a guy waving this, and I'm just like, I have questions.
Yeah. Well,
Okay,
I gave you an
cool.
answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there
Awesome.
you go. See,
And now you know.
You really
it's
do
an
learn things
educational-
on this
It's
show.
an educational program.
Awesome.
Yeah,
It's great.
I don't know.
Suck on
yeah.
that, Bill Nye.
Take
Yeah.
that, science guy.
Yeah.
Because that's more geography, but, you know,
Sure.
whatever.
Yeah. It's a that's a
Geographers,
science.
if you
I
ask a
guess, of
geographer,
sort.
they'll tell you it's a science.
Yeah. Which really, it's just remembering where crap is at. That's, you know.
It's all filled with-
Cartography, yeah, I'll give you that. There's
Filled with
science to that because
hypothesis.
you got to, do everything to scale. But
Everything's an educated guess. I
Right.
think it's over there.
yeah, yeah, it's like meteorology. Is that a science or is somebody guessing?
Eh,
I mean, 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other.
Okay,
it don't make me know never mind. I've heard some people say, you ever heard that term around here? Don't make me know never mind. You got to
No,
say it like
I am
that.
from the deep
If
south, and I've
somebody-
never heard
if
that.
You never heard that?
See?
No.
That's dirty.
I've heard that.
That's dirty hick
The
slang.
deep south, yeah.
Don't
You
make
hear
me
that,
know never
You hear
mind.
that in Brownsville.
Somebody presented that to me, and I was like, what did you just say to me? Because I feel
Oh, the
insulted.
statement. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, not Brownsville.
So you're offering it. Hey, do you
somebody
want
presented that to
Brownsville?
me.
We're not doing anything
Hey, I
with
have
it.
this duffel bag with this baby tiger. Will you
Yeah.
take this to Brownsville
Yeah,
for me?
taking the duffel
And don't
bag
make me
to
know never mind.
Taking the duffel bag to Brownsville. Yeah. That don't make me know never Nevermind.
Oh my God! I'll tell you that for free.
Well, it's good because I wasn't going to pay for it.
Well, and obviously nobody wants free tickets.
Right. You don't even have to pay for them. You just have to call in and enjoy conversation with us long enough to say, who are you? Here you go, and where to get them. But no, you're too good for it, so we don't want you calling in.
How about I sweeten the pot?
Oh, yes.
You got pie?
Man,
Sweet.
I got tickets to the premiere on Thursday in my bag.
What?
So if y'all call in, say the number again. What's the number again?
He is in that movie.
Because all three of us are in that movie.
I tell you what.
775.
You know who else is in that movie? Let me see one of those tickets again. You know who else is in that movie? Travis Charles, who's on this show that Scotty is on.
That's right.
As is John Morris.
That's right.
Olivia Burns is in this movie.
This is how easy this works. You can have this ticket, sir.
Oh, can I?
Yes.
He didn't call.
That easy? After I didn't call.
It is that easy.
But if you call in, I'll even throw in 2 tickets to the premiere on Thursday down at the Neon.
He's got them in his duffel
They
bag.
are in my bag
and
right
if you
next to
call
me.
in, I will try to get you a 4-month-old tiger in a duffel bag.
That
I
is
don't
in a
have it
duffel
with
bag.
me.
If you call in, we'll take care of
But-
2 date nights and you get a tiger.
Exactly. If you go to Brownsville to get it.
Exactly. That part's on you,
Yeah, you got to go to Brownsville to get it.
but it's still yours. You just
So,
gotta,
free tickets, you don't have to go to Brownsville to get them.
And just call. It's
You
not like
don't
I'm going to know
have
who you
to.
are.
right. Use a
I'm
fake
not
name, Ed.
discouraging it, but you don't have to go to Brownsville to get them. You can just call.
You can just call and get tickets. And the tiger, that's up to you. If you want that tiger,
We'll wait.
yeah. Got all night.
We
got
got
45 minutes.
45
we got all
minutes.
night.
We will wait.
Yep. You're going to call.
We're going to sit here in silence.
Exactly.
Until his
radio
phone rings.
silence.
It's
until
free
his phone
stuff.
rings.
Don't make me pick
Yeah.
up my phone and call this radio station to get free tickets.
I think I had a guest do that to me once.
Really?
Yes. I was giving away actually WWE tickets.
Oh,
And Andy Bowman
of course. Of course.
got up and went to the restroom and called from his cell phone down the hall.
Well, on that note, I'm going to go use the bathroom.
And I said, "No, Andy, you can't have them."
That is hilarious.
He would.
Yep.
Damn, I want WWE tickets.
Me
don't-
too.
What's that?
I want WWE tickets.
Yeah. Well, that was a one-time deal. I think Luke Capasso ended up with them.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Luke took
course
took
he
his
did.
kids. So.
Man.
Of course he did.
That or Ring of Honor. If you got Ring of Honor tickets, I'll take those too.
If you have any
I don't-
tickets, I'll just take whatever
yeah,
tickets
because
you
I like
have.
getting free stuff and going to
I
free.
probably have some just regular Wiley's tickets.
Oh, really?
I
that
think
I'll
I've still
throw-
got
I'll
some
throw
too.
into that too.
Yeah.
I'll throw into that too.
See?
Well, like free stuff's like I
And those
got
are for
random
the
free
real
tickets
comics.
And I will autograph my show notes.
Ooh.
Oh,
Man, we
But
are
you gotta
really
go,
sweetening
but you
all
gotta go to
seriously.
Brownsville to get them.
I've got 2 tickets to a
Paradise?
Metallica cover band show in Cincinnati next month that I can't use. Who wants those?
I want those.
Now-
You want
actually.
those? I'll give those to Scotty.
Now, well, here's a question: Metallica cover band. Do they play the good songs or do they play the crap they made?
Well, they
after
have
well,
the
they're
Ride
called
the
the,
Lightning.
they're called the
Justice for
Four
All.
Horsemen.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
And they have
so
the
they
Ride the
might actually
Lightning
play
logo.
the good
yeah,
older stuff.
Speaking of
they're
which,
good. They're actually very good.
I will be at Rock on the Range this weekend.
I hate you so much.
I know you do, buddy.
God.
I know you do. I know.
That's a dream.
I won't be.
It's going to be amazing.
I will probably be at Wiley's. At some point.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because a
Which
bunch
is
of my
good,
friends
which
were
is
at
good.
the
It's
Carolina
way better than
Rebellion,
Rock
which
on
is
the
the
Range.
South Carolina one, like last weekend, the weekend before, and were showing me all the videos from it, and just But I did get free tickets to go see Jonathan Davis last week, which was cool.
Yeah, how was that?
Oh my God, that was
Wow.
one of the best shows I've been to. In a
So,
long time.
you know who Jonathan Davis is. Okay.
He is putting out a solo album at the end of the month here.
Really?
And which I didn't know about. And then my friend won free tickets because she called into a radio station and won the free tickets.
Yeah, that still exists. That's
Still
a
a
thing.
thing.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And he played all this new stuff that, it wasn't like because like a lot of singers will go do solo projects and it just sounds like their band.
Right.
It sounded like different stuff. It didn't
Really?
sound like a Korn copy. He played stuff from Queen of the Damned, which
Nice.
he did the soundtrack for the score for, which no one's heard since that movie came out because of record label nonsense. And it was one of the best shows I've been to in a long time, to just sit in the back and watch and get drunk. And yeah.
Right.
But all because we called into a radio station and got the free tickets and had a great time.
Yes.
Hint.
Yes.
Did he have any members with him?
No, he had a whole new band. He had a drummer, a guitar player, a bass player who was using a cello,
Nice.
a keyboard player, and another guitar player who also had an electric violin.
I seen the Melvins live
An
once,
electric
and he had a
violin,
big.
so it was like the Revenge of
he
the
had a big
Nerds.
bass.
Yeah.
It was cool. It sounded kind of like, it sounded a lot like kind of the music you heard like in Queen of the Damned. It was very kind of industrial goth rock type thing. It was really good. I can't wait. While we were there, I pulled out my phone and pre-ordered the album on iTunes. It was really good. I had a lot of fun.
That sounds like a man that knows what he wants.
Yeah. I have to keep an eye out for that album.
It's really good. Yeah. Well, and that's probably the last. I got one more show I'm going to. I'm taking my sister to go see.
Because there is some Korn that I enjoy.
I like Korn.
Yeah.
I saw them last year when they put their
Not all of
album
it.
out.
Not all of it. There are plenty of Korn songs that I enjoy.
My favorite Korn is On the Cob.
Right. But
That
you got to go to
sounded
Brownsville.
very.
But you got to go to Brownsville to get it.
Got to go to Brownsville to get it.
That is the name of this.
That's the name of this. Got to go to Brownsville to get it.
My favorite.
I'm gonna find a way to
Korn is
work
On the
that
Cob.
into my daily vocabulary. Just like, oh, you guys got to try this great barbecue place, but you got to go to Brownsville to get it.
Yeah, that's the
As a
new
matter of
thing.
fact, that Brownsville barbecue sauce, you can try it if you want, but don't make me know, never mind what you do with it.
Yeah, don't make me know. Never mind. Got to go to Brownsville to get it. So what else?
How
What
about
else?
the pollen count here? And
That is, I don't know. I don't have allergies, so
yeah, me neither. Oh, well, sir, don't point at me. I'm okay. I'm immune.
you're okay.
I don't
You're
either.
okay?
The
But
thing is
when I
like
drive a
I've
car.
seen more people get falsely Narcaned
Yeah,
because of their.
because they're a little groggy
Yeah.
from the.
he's
the
ODing.
allergy.
No, he's just. It's that time of
They're
year.
like, dude, enough with the Narcan. Do you at least have some Flonase? You can shoot that up my nose, but keep your Narcan.
Yeah. I mean, the way it is anymore, you don't even want to be diabetic in public. They catch you
No,
shooting
yeah.
up, they're after you.
Yep,
Oh yeah.
yep. People like me see that, I'll be like, sir, do you need treatment options? No.
Yep. No, Scotty, no.
But Scotty does know.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. Pollen season's crazy.
Yeah, it's been insane this
Yeah.
year for all these poor saps.
Yeah. The puntastic hour of the life.
Yes. It's. I've never really had allergy issues. In fact, stuff like poison ivy, I've never really had any allergic reactions
That I can't
until
be near.
one time. Because I read about it, and actually there's an oil that kind of has a cumulative effect, and eventually it will kind of take less and less to have a reaction. Well, I used to, when I was a kid, I'd rip it out of a fence row with my bare hands. Never bothered me. Well, a couple years ago, I was pulling some weeds around the house, and I'm pulling out some poison ivy, and I go in, and I shower, and of course it's an oil, so you shower, it just spreads all over, head to toe, man. Oh my God, it was miserable. I think I had to take several days off work because I was just, it was miserable. It's like, that's what this stuff's about. I always thought those were wimps. Now I want my mommy.
When I got my first
There was
tattoo-
probably a section you didn't want her rubbing calamine lotion on.
No.
When I got my first tattoo, like a week later, I got poison ivy on my arm, and because I was so paranoid, I was like, "Oh God, I'm gonna get poison ivy, and my tattoo is gonna get infected." But the poison ivy got on the other side of both my arms, so I had it wrapped up with bandages because I put the stuff on. It looked like I just got out of an attempt at suicide or
Is
something.
everything okay, Mike?
We're here for you.
Yeah, we're worried about you.
Yeah, I get poison ivy real bad though. It's in our backyard right now. I can't even go out in the backyard.
Like are you the type of person like if you just stare at it and you're like, oh my God, and
Yeah.
break out.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah, you just think about it and you start itching. You know.
it's great. It gives me an excuse to not cut the grass right now.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
But yeah, if I even like look at it or I'm in the same area as it, I get a rash. And it's just it sucks.
Like hepatitis.
Just coming back, a little bit like herpes.
Yep.
Huh.
Do you want to end on a herpes joke?
Absolutely. Where can we go from there?
I mean, the
Back
joke
to
goes
news,
away,
I
we'll
guess.
bring it back.
What's that?
Nope.
Nope.
News. What?
No news?
Good news.
Good news.
Oh,
It's
what's
pronounced GNU.
Good
we
news.
discussed that last time.
We did.
So Don,
now I
you're
have
on
another
a
name for the
daytime work
show.
schedule now.
Just barely.
Are we going to see you on stage more?
I'm hoping. I'm hoping to get. I've been trying to do some writing lately. I have a couple new ideas floating around. So actually, I just sent in to get on Wiley's Sunday Comics on the June 3rd show.
Hey.
You go.
So I'll be back up there, which I think we have on this Sunday, the 20th, and then we don't on Memorial Day weekend. There is no Sunday Comics. By the way, Sunday Comics this Sunday, there will be a comics hang beforehand. I try not to do those when we don't have a show, but we may do them. I won't do one Memorial Day weekend.
Everyone's going to be busy doing stuff.
Yeah. Well, actually, Saturday Memorial Day weekend, I do have to be on set to do some more filming for Black Mamba.
Oh, really?
So yes,
That thing that's totally not a porno that you're making?
that's totally not a porno.
Filmed in
Totally not a
Brownsville.
porno. Yep. Well, you have to go to Brownsville to see it.
See my.
What you don't know is the
mama,
tiger
my
was
duffel
the
bag.
tiger was a prop for the movie. is what you're not telling
Absolutely,
me.
absolutely, yes. See, you're giving away trade secrets.
I
right
am.
now.
Mm-hmm.
Peek behind the curtain.
But no, it had been doing a lot of filming actually at the club at Wiley's. We've had a lot of filming for there this past weekend.
You
Ed
sent
John
your
was-
SOS out on Saturday, and I was literally 2 blocks from you, but I was in a class, and I couldn't
That's a bummer.
I
Because
would have enjoyed.
Ed John showed up. He has
Of course
a,
you did. Of course you did, Ed.
Yeah.
Overachiever.
He has a part. Butch Russell.
Yeah.
He showed
Ooh,
up.
there's a name I haven't heard in a while.
He has a part in the show now, and so yeah, able to get a couple of the comics involved, and that'll be fun. Because every now and then on independent film, you have actors not show up. You have actors decide last minute they don't want to do it. Apparently, there was a guy that was cast in the role several weeks in advance. Half an hour before we were set to be on set, he called and said his wife didn't like the contract and he wasn't going to do it.
Whoa.
So his wife stopped him from either his wife stopped him from doing it, or he didn't want to get up early and figured he'd blame her. So yeah, half an hour before the shoot, which to me that's
Bush League.
Yeah, that's unprofessional. right
Send me names after the show.
Yeah.
I'll take care of it. Don.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about him right now. No. No, names like that go out over the air. I don't know his name actually.
I've never had to deal with anything quite like that in making a film. I've had to reschedule, but I've never had anybody just straight drop out.
Well, we work with William Lee. We work very fast paced, and if somebody drops out, either we get him replaced right then, or we rewrite.
Oh
wow.
And he'll write, and if that's the thing, he'll write you out of a script if you do something stupid. Even if you've already filmed your scenes, you will go to the premiere, sit there, and watch the whole thing, and find out your part's been cut.
Sounds like Ridley Scott. Ridley Scott's notorious for stuff like that.
Because I love William, I do, but he doesn't take a lot of crap on set, and he shouldn't, because I mean he's actually, unlike a lot of filmmakers locally, he does pay his actors when
Sorry
he
about
gets
that.
paid. What's that?
Sorry about that.
Oh no. It's well, that's the thing. Independent film, that's expected.
Yeah,
That's the norm.
You take a gamble on an indie film. You never know if there's going to be pay because
Right.
you don't know what's going to.
Well, yeah, you don't get paid up front.
Yeah.
If you get paid, it'll be deferred payment. But
On the back end,
of the many
you get
independent
paid if
films,
the film makes money.
right? Of the many independent films I've been involved in, his have paid. So
You know what
there's
else
that.
pays?
But what's that?
A good news story.
You know what doesn't pay?
What? Crime.
And I don't know if this next one's a good news story, but it'll be a great one to end out this segment, and then we'll play some more
I'm sure it'll
music.
be a hootenanny.
Yes. A Minnesota man looking for mushrooms ended up discovering something incredible: conjoined fawns.
What?
The man found the stillborn fawns on May 2016 near Freeburg, Minnesota, about a mile from the Mississippi River. The animals appeared to be recently deceased and were clean and dry, according to Gino D'Angelo, a University of Georgia researcher who studied the deer. He said he believes the two-headed animal is the first pair of conjoined fawns to reach full term and be delivered by their mother, according to the University of Georgia press release. Since the only other example of conjoined fawns have been found in utero these stillborn twins are a scientific marvel.
All right.
That's the Bambi sequel I want to watch.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, it would behoove him to become quite fond.
Yes, I'm very fond of this story. Yes.
I think we should be keeping count of how many we make this hour.
Yeah.
That one almost, I almost had an aneurysm on that one. That one hurt. That one hurt. Not only was it painful to say that, but just to feel it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
A lot of pain there. A lot of pain.
Yeah, it's
I'm
almost
processing
painful
it
as
now
going
as
to
we speak.
Brownsville. That's
That sounds like a movie that Tim Burton would come up with. We're going to have
conjoined fawns. That's
fawns.
what we need.
Yeah.
And these would have been actually born because they were dry. I mean, they were clean and dry.
You think their names were
you know,
Fonzie?
Yeah, Fonzie and LaFonda. Yeah.
What? Stop.
Yeah. Well, 2 heads is better than 1.
Hey,
So,
let's put our heads together.
Yeah.
Let's join hands.
yes.
If we had hands.
What the hell?
What's happening? It's so
I don't
hot in
know.
here.
I
It's
don't
so
know.
hot.
I don't know.
It's so hot.
I don't know. And even though there were 2 of them, there wasn't enough
Like
meat
even
to feed
the
us.
chili trophy's starting to actually literally catch fire.
Yep. Yep. There are more. We're just adding to the ashes. That's all we're doing.
Right.
And eventually, Jess Cordry's going to come in here and snort.
And snort them. Yes. Oh.
This is. Oh man, that's
love that guy.
wasn't that a fun, uplifting news story about dead deer?
I'll tell you what.
Mutated deer.
Dead mutated
I was
fawns.
happy
That's
to find
fantastic.
perspective in that. You know, we all.
That's always the kind of news story I like. They really leave you thinking and going thinking, why the hell?
You think
did
they're
a comedy
buried in
show
Potter's
did-
Field?
They could
Oh!
be. They could be. It'd have to be a double headstone. All right, we're gonna take a little break, and we will cleanse our palates of that, and we will be back here shortly.
There's a reason they call them lazy Sundays. There's nothing better than sitting around and enjoying the comforts of a good book. But what book should that be? Well, every Sunday, Eventide brings you The Bookseller, hosted by Jessica Gillen. Each week, Jessica breaks down a different book and tells you everything you need to know before cracking it open and getting lost in a whole new world. Tune in every Sunday for The Bookseller with Jessica Gillen, brought to you by Eventide Entertainment.
All right. I'll tell you what to do. Go that way. Really fast. If something gets in your way, turn.
All right. We are back on the live radio show for our last glorious half hour of the evening. And what a show it has been.
Oh,
we have learned so much.
We have had a plethora of information.
Absolutely. A whole shell is a rock.
Yes. Solid as a rock.
Who can forget that, Jim?
Tigers
And,
come from Mexico.
Yes, and you got to go to Brownsville to get it.
And apparently you've been hiding black mambas.
Nope, it wasn't hidden.
Oh.
It was just on a tiny noose.
Oh, man. Follow that train of thought, kids. You won't like where you end up, but you'll enjoy the journey.
But no, I was saying I got pulled over on the way in by campus police. So,
Dude, Paul Blart is to be taken seriously.
Yeah. They were on a Segway. You know, one guy ran the siren.
That's the old school one.
He was sitting on the handlebars of the kid's bicycle.
Did he have the shrinking?
Yeah.
He's got a special key for his Segway so it only goes so fast.
Hey, budget cuts.
Governor.
You're right state.
It has a governor.
But no, I did. I was driving and I went to stop at a stop sign and a bunch of crap on my seat went to fall off. I grabbed it, but I went ahead and went through the stop sign and they busted me, man. I am just, God.
You're fit to be tied right now, aren't you?
Cost me nothing because they gave me a warning, which, you know, I think that's all they can issue. I don't know. Yeah, it was like, what you get a demerit. I got a demerit.
Aw.
Now, sir,
3
I have to
demerits.
warn you about this warning
Yeah.
I'm about to give you.
Yeah, 3 demerits equal a warning. 2 warnings equal a
Yeah, out of here.
yeah. You're out of
He
just
gone.
for like now. Just get out
Just-
of here. 'Cause
yeah,
we don't
just
wanna
for
see you
tonight.
again. Go on
Yeah.
to whatever you were doing. But no, they were polite. It was just
What a strange
struck me
encounter.
funny. Yes, yeah.
Sir, I don't think you understand. I used to work here.
Yeah, I used to work here. Take your stop sign, and I would have stopped, but Wright State's budget cuts. I can't afford brake pads. So
Dude,
I
there's
just
a
had to go
gnarly
on through.
pothole out here on Colonel Glenn coming this way. If people can see where I'm pointing.
Oh,
'Cause
that way,
you know
that
how
way,
the
yeah.
power of radio works.
Oh, absolutely. The power of radio. Well, you're on Facebook Live. Probably have more listeners.
3.
Than 3.
Trey.
Boy, then you have 3 more. Me, I'm so jealous of your Facebook
My
Live.
3 friends.
Your
There's 2
3
now.
friends.
Every time I mention
Every
it,
time you
it's like
mention it.
somebody drops off.
Yeah.
Like, well, let's humble him real quick.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
The drinking
man.
game.
Eh,
Yeah, every time Scotty.
I wonder what the
Mays-
magic word
Every
is.
time Scotty mentions us, just log
Followers.
off and drink a
Somebody has
beer.
to
Oh,
drop
now we're
off.
down to 1.
Yep. See, there you go. 'Cause
Yeah.
we talked about it. All right.
Why don't you all just leave then? Just all of
Yeah,
you.
we don't need you.
You obviously don't want my free tickets.
Yeah, we're going to give away all kinds of free stuff, including a tiger in a duffel
Yeah.
bag.
But
if you
nobody
go to
wants tiger in a
Brownsville to
duffel
get
bag.
it, but nobody wants to call in,
and a scratch and sniff
and
microphone.
nobody wants to. Absolutely, you don't even have to scratch. It's just a
Nah,
sniff.
yeah, you just sniff it.
This is you heard of smell-o-vision.
You sniff it then.
This is straight.
This
This is the Wonka's
This
smell
is
of
radio snort. Is what-
radio snort.
well, what is I going to call it? Snortio?
Oh, that's-
It's not going to be the same.
Snortio.
Radio snort. That's what.
Wasn't that a Genesis song? Sue
definitely
Snortio. Sue Snortio.
Snortio. I think that was actually Phil Collins without Genesis that did
You know,
that
and I
stupid
knew
song.
I was afraid of that, and I was waiting for the correction.
Yeah, what are you living in a land of illusion?
No, just a land,
Land
of
of
confusion.
See, I got my funny. Anyway,
Yeah. Anyway,
a Phoenix woman is facing numerous charges after she allegedly sent more than 65,000 text messages to a man after a first date last summer, many of them containing bizarre threats.
did you see the interview with her?
Yeah.
I did
Holy
not.
crow.
So everybody knows about this.
Oh, I know the
31-year-old Jacqueline AIDS was arrested. Was arrested on May 8th
She gave him.
and
What?
charged her with threatening, stalking, harassment, and failure to appear in court. AIDS discussed the allegations on Thursday during a jailhouse interview with local CBS affiliate KPHO-TV, CAFO.
Kafo.
She said, I felt like I met my soulmate, and I thought we would just do what everybody else did, and we would get married, and everything would be fine. She said she met the man on Luxy, an online dating site for verified millionaires.
Okay.
She sent her date so many texts because, quote, loving him selflessly brought me his information. I don't even know what that means. Loving him selflessly brought me his information. Yeah.
Sure, okay.
Well,
okay.
she also wanted to bathe in his blood.
Yes, according to the police, many of the text messages she selflessly sent included anti-Semitic insults and threats like "Don't ever leave me" or "I'll kill you." I don't want to be a murderer.
I don't want to be,
Guys.
but you're going to make me.
Guys, I think I found my soulmate.
You guys would be a good match.
But if she ever leaves me, thank God.
She just wants to. She wants to bathe with your
Yes.
black mamba.
Yeah. Hey, well, who can blame her? Who can blame her? She's got to go to Brownsville to get it.
Don't make me no never mind.
Don't make me no never mind. Oh,
This is the part where I say something funny. I'm not gonna. But
man, we've been waiting for 2 hours now. I mean, a viral video showing a Kodiak bear eating ice cream at a Canadian drive-thru has led to a criminal charge for the owners of the zoo where the bear resides. We made a mistake, said Doug Bowes, owner of one of the owners of Discovery Wildlife Park in Innisfail, Alberta. I'm embarrassed about it. Every time we take an animal off property, we're supposed to notify Fish and Wildlife, send them an email, and we forgot to do that in both instances. Under the terms of the zoo's permit, the zoo must tell government officials if an animal will be leaving the zoo. Alberta Fish and Wildlife said in a statement sent to the Guardian, Bose and co-owner Debbie Rowland are now each facing one charge related to the bear, named Berkeley, in case that's important, taking a trip to Dairy Queen earlier this year, because this is the second time they did it. They're facing a second charge for allegedly not informing officials in 2017 that Berkeley, then a young orphan, was being taken to a home at night for bottle feeding. So, yeah, they got him. They got him for one thing, and they're just all over him now.
So if they want to take a zoo animal out, all they have to do is just ask somebody and send an email?
Hey, take us home. Don't take your work home with you. That's
I have to go through more steps to update my phone. Like, if I want to update my phone, I got to punch in a password, a code, download a thing, wait 2 hours.
Yep. My timesheets have to be approved by 3 people.
I mean,
and you take a bear?
God. I want to log into my email at home. I have to get a phone call, answer the color of the day. I mean,
teabag my keyboard.
Yeah.
Wait,
go
what?
to Brownsville.
No, I don't.
Smuggle a tiger over the border. Yeah. It's a process.
Sniff microphones.
Sniff microphones on snortradio.com. I'm getting that, by the way. I'm purchasing
Snort Radio.
No, it's Radio Snort.
Radio Snort.
Radiosnort.com.
Get it before someone else does.
It's probably taken.
It's like
Get it before John Oliver does.
If there's a thing you can snort, somebody's probably got the .com name for it.
Oh,
I might be able to get a .cc or a .c or whatever they are, .gov. Radiosnort.gov.
Radio Snort. Somebody with a
What's that?
hair lip. That's what it sounds like.
What does?
When you say snort.
Snort.
Reminds me of somebody with a...
Snort.
That's how my mind
Snort.
works, man.
Radio,
I went straight to
radio
hair
snort.
lip.
Radiosnort.com.
Oh, God.
I went straight to hair lip.
Hey, sometimes you got to go straight airlit, man. That's all I got to say. You can't go to Brownsville to get it. You got to go straight airlit. That's your 2 options on this show.
Choo-choo.
I don't even know what that means. Wow. Are we done yet?
Man, we got to milk this last 2 minutes.
Oh, damn.
Milk it, Scotty.
Hear that out of context, kids.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't even say please.
That's going to be the new soundbite for this show. It's just it's going to go through my intro, and then it's going to end with "Milk it, Scotty." And
Oh, Kimmy, that's going in the promo. That's going in the promo.
You bet it is. I'm writing it down. Milk it.
I will make sure that goes in the promo.
That might even be the title. Hell, I don't know.
Milk it, Scotty.
Milk
I'm
it,
just going
Scotty.
to change the name of the Life Radio
I'm gonna
show
scream
to
that
Milk
next
It,
time.
Scotty Broadcast.
Next time I'm at a show, next time I see Scotty on stage, the first thing I'm doing is milk it, Scotty. I feel like
Yeah, that's a new category for the Fight Club.
there you go.
Milk it, Scotty. Somebody has to milk Scotty for 5 minutes.
You got to run a good across
while
the
you're
stage
doing your
right in
set.
front of a Texas woman says that she took 2 kittens into her home only to discover they were not house cats, but wild bobcats.
I mean, come on.
She's a bright one.
Jeez.
Come on.
Hey,
Where's
don't
she
make
from?
me no
Brownsville,
nevermind.
Texas?
House cats, bobcats.
She's the one that are taking the tiger to. She thought it was a kitten.
Yep, Jane Dinscore, her sister and her niece were bitten on the hands while trying to feed the felines because they were bobcats. San Antonio Animal Care Services spokeswoman Lisa Norwood said on Monday, I think they started doing a little bit more research and educating themselves and thinking, you know what? These don't look like your standard house cat, and they keep biting me. Maybe we should call somebody. Thankfully, they did. But Dinscore has changed her story since the news broke on Monday. Originally, she told authorities she found the kittens in an alleyway in San Antonio. Now she says she received the kittens from her brother, James Dinscore, in rural Atascosa County. However, she maintains that she believed the kittens were domestic cats.
Is that county
I think
where
she's full
Brownsville's
of
at?
crap. Probably is. It was in Texas, and
Well, see,
it
I'm
involved.
telling you.
I wonder if
It
she knows
involved
any
cats.
good veterinarians, because these puppies are sick.
Yeah, and again,
For those of you who
a
can't see
visual
at
for the
home,
radio.
Scotty just flexed his
That
arms.
doesn't even work on Radio Snort, Scotty. You can't even see that on radiosnort.com.
Be honest, man. Do I have a vein popping out of my forehead right here? 'Cause I feel like it kind of hurts a little bit. Triggered to get a milkshake. Whoo.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Should we move on? Should we go on?
Hey,
Should
man,
we
let's
just,
go.
or are we
We
still
must be
focusing
butter
on
because
the
we're on a
Bobcat?
roll.
Oh,
Hashtag Stuart Scott.
Man,
oof, that one gave me a disease.
not allowed to have rolls. I'm on the ketogenic diet.
This is true. Greek salad, man.
Eat all the bacon.
I'll lick the butter off, but
Eat all the
Only
bacon
after I
and
milk
fat
you.
you want, but God help you if you have a
but
roll.
you gotta go to Brownsville to get it.
And you got to milk it first. Then I'll lick the butter off.
Milk it, Scotty. Oh,
So that's how they're going to start every NASCAR race. Gentlemen, milk your Scotty.
It would definitely be an interesting way to start.
Oh,
I mean, I
man.
think it would be an improvement.
I'd start watching. Wouldn't watch for
Dude,
long.
look at his
Right,
wife.
because
you know,
it's NASCAR.
Don't make me
but
know.
still.
Never mind.
Yeah. I don't care what they say. Don't make me know. Never mind. You want to milk your Scotty? You milk your Scotty.
That's going to be the NASCAR's new
Yep, I'm
slogan.
just heading on down to Brownsville. You milk your Scotty if you want. Don't pay me no. Never mind.
Oh, my
This
face
best
is
show
so
ever.
hot right
I
now.
am so glad we decided to start doing these late on a Tuesday night after work.
Oh,
After
all day.
work,
too.
yes.
Yeah, in a sweat lodge. This is
Yeah, man.
WWSU
Oh.
Sweat Lodge.
Ugh.
I feel like I'm burning some calories
Yeah,
right now.
absolutely. It's the laughing, it's the moving around, it's the giggling.
Yeah, it's the
and
lack of
the
HVAC.
Lack of HVAC. If only I knew a guy that could do something about that.
Yeah. You know any HVAC, man?
Don, what
HVAC
is here?
guy?
No.
Where's your buddy Tim Bush at?
Yeah. Old
Probably
Tim.
busy modeling. What?
Yep, he's probably got calls. He's on call.
I
right
can't
now,
believe
so
it's
he's
not
probably-
butter. You're right. It's
Yeah.
Scotty milking.
Yep. Milk it, Scotty. All right. You've heard of beating the rap. Well, a gynecologist
Oh my
in
God.
Pennsylvania has beat the rapper Dr. Dre, to be exact. Last week, Dreon M. Birch, who also goes by Dr. Dre, D-R-A-I, won a 3-year legal battle that began when he wanted to trademark his name. That didn't sit well with the NWA founder turned music industry mogul who tried to block Dre's effort. The Dr. Dre, not the Dr. Dre.
Thanks for clearing that up.
Fearing people might get confused by their similar sounding names. Birch, author of the books 20 Things You May Not Know About the Vagina, won in part by arguing that, quote, Dr. Dre is not a medical doctor, nor is he qualified to provide any type of medical services or sell products specifically in the medical or healthcare industry, according to court documents. Furthermore, Birch testified that trading on Dre, D-R-E's, reputation would be, quote, a bad reflection on me as a doctor because some of Dre's lyrics can be characterized as misogynist and homophobic.
Really? So does Beats take a different term for gynecologists? Hey, Tim Bush just joined us on Facebook Live. How weird is
Well,
that?
I don't
Were
know.
your ears
I don't
burning,
know.
dude?
Yeah,
That is so
I think
weird.
so. I think so. Well, he heard about the 20 things you may not know about the vagina by Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
Just
It's all about the
fantastic.
beats.
Yeah, that's actually going to be Dr. Dre's new album is 20 more things you don't know about the vagina.
Track 1 is Don Smith's Wide Foot.
Yep. That's how
Forceps,
is that something
no
you don't know
feet.
about the vagina.
Track 2 is straight out of Brownsville.
You got to go to Brownsville to get it.
Track 3 is Black Mamba.
Yeah. Track 5, Tiger in a Duffel Bag.
Ooh. Track 6, Don't Make Me No Never Mind.
We got the whole album. Man.
Track 7 is Milk It Scotty.
And track 7, thank God, is almost the end of this show. Do we want? No, we don't. I think we're going to wrap up. Anyway,
Nice.
whew.
Man.
This has been an exhausting endeavor.
I'm parched.
Yes, it's been the only one I got left because this is like my third one. I gotta pee.
You've been pounding some waters, man.
You've been pounding some milk, it Scotty. All right. So what did we come on here to promote something or something like that?
Maybe.
Mike, what do we got going on? I know Monarch this Thursday.
Monarch
Yes.
premieres this Thursday at the Neon, 7:30 p.m. Don Smith is in the film. Scotty Mays is in the film. Travis Charles, John Morris, Olivia Burns, Titus Wayne, Jess Cordry, Cindy Myers. Me. Shot all around Dayton.
But don't let all this discourage you. It's still pretty good.
It's still actually good, believe it or not. It's going to be a lot of fun. Big thanks to the Neon for letting us do this. They've been a lot of help, and it's going to be we're showing the film from last year to start things off, and then I'm gonna let the comedians who were there do some time at the beginning, kind of get the room opened up and have some fun, and then we'll show Monarch, and then we'll have a little Q&A at the end. We'll have posters for sale. It's just going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a great night. So come on out. It's $5 at the door. Could have been free if you'd have called in, but
Exactly.
But yeah, so that's this Thursday, and then the film and the soundtrack will be available online June 1st.
Awesome. Look forward to being there on Thursday.
I can't wait.
Scotty.
Nope.
Scotty don't?
Scotty doesn't know. He does, but he's not sharing because I offered to share and nobody bit. So,
This is your time. This is your time to promote.
You know.
So you know what you got to do.
I got to milk it.
You got to milk it.
It's been a pleasure, Don.
Absolutely. It always is. This is the most fun I get to have
I love doing this. So thank you.
Yeah. Well, it's always good to have. This is a crazy show, and I love getting crazy with other crazy people because otherwise I'd feel very alone.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
All right, let's take our pants off.
All
now.
right.
Yes.
But hey, don't forget Memorial Day weekend at Wiley's Comedy Club, Cry for Help tour. Friday night at 8 o'clock. Saturday night, 2 shows, 7:15 and 9:30. Get there. Scotty Mays is going to be there. Dale Blumquist is going to be there. Ranson Carr is going to be there. Other people, Nick Taylor, Travis Charles,
Dan Dean.
Dan Dean. How can
Keith
I forget
Irvin
Dan
will be
Dean?
there on the weekend.
Oh, Keith Irvin on the weekend. Man,
Yes,
that's a packed show. If you don't get out there, you're dead to me.
You're going to miss me milking it.
Exactly. Scotty's going to milk it. We're going to get out of here. And don't forget, you got to go to Brownsville to get it. We'll see you next week. This has been the Life Radio Show on WWSU 106.9 with your host, Don Smith. The Life is also available in podcast form on iTunes, PodBean, Stitcher, Spreaker, Blueberry, and YouTube, as well as on Eventide Entertainment's podcast network. Be sure to like the Life Radio Show on Facebook, and if you have any comments or suggestions, email thelife1069@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Now get out there and enjoy some live comedy this week. You can check out wileyscomedy.com for all your upcoming shows.
The brutal presence overwhelms me. The brutal presence overwhelms me.